Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Stretch the Sketch, the 6th year anniversary. Not that I've been doing it that long, I haven't even been doing it a year at all, but I am helping celebrate. And this was the first sketch that they used for Stretch the Sketch, and it's by Shimelle.com. And it's super cute, and I had it planned to use chevrons, but I picked out different pictures and I end up using something else. I'm going to scrap those two pictures of my three youngest grandkids. That's Hero Arts Fancy Dyes. It's fern and mushroom. I'm going to use the footprints there, and I'm going to use one of those tags. I pulled out two, but I didn't use both. I forgot to use the enamel dots. Well, they're this flat color. The gray ones kind of remind me of stones. I you use that EK Success punch up there to punch out branches, and I will use rub on. And I'm going to do some mixed media in the back. A lot of mixed media, actually. At least it seems like a lot to me. I am using three colors: pumice stone, well, four colors: pumice stone, stormy sky, um, and what is that other one? I'll have to see it. I don't remember. I am going to use some wild honey also. But it's going to be just the ink pad. I'm not going to have the spray. And I am putting the pumice stone. I did put the pumice stone down first, and then the stormy sky. And then I'm going to mix a couple because I thought it wasn't quite the right color. And oh yeah, it's, oh, salvage patina because I thought I wanted a lighter color. Well, I put it on that plastic and I thought, once I shook it up, shook it up, it looked brighter than it did before. And then I thought, well, I'll just add some stormy sky. Well, then it was even a brighter color, but it was green. So I added some pumice stone. So all three colors got in that mix. And I like that green a whole lot better. And the thing is, over to the side, I also had setting Bookworm by Mr. Huey. And it's about the same color. I could have just used it. But it is getting kind of low. I used that Stamperia stamp, and I used the little spots all over it. They're just all kinds of spots and blotches. And I put them on there plus some compasses. And now I'm using this radar dye by Craft Treat, and I am mixing the two colors, the wild honey and also the stormy sky. And I think I kind of mix up my brushes because the first one that I did looked a little off. And then I go to use it again later. And I think, man, there's something wrong with this. And I think I probably put the brush in two different ink pads. And so I had to clean it off and try again. But I had to end up putting green on all my footprints. Um, here I put down the stormy sky, and then I sprayed it, and then I'm using that little ink that little stamp from Lavinia Stamps, I believe it's called. And this is water droplets, so it's little round circles, and I put them all over the place. I bet I put 100, but I cut most of them out so you wouldn't have to watch me. But if you see little circles that are empty, those are water droplets, and they're all over the place on there. Now, I really would have liked to had the portrait one on the left with my title there, Curious, to match the sketch. However, the first one that happened was the one on the left, and they were checking out the waterfall, and then my son ended up telling them to turn around so he could take their picture. He did take the one before them, but he also took that one. And oh, I had that wagon wheel made up, for a few months, I know anyway, and didn't use it. I planned on using two on layout or something, and I only used the one. So I thought, well, I'll use part of one here on the right, but then I'm going to find a place for the rest of it on the left-hand side and go ahead and use it anyway. I instead of using my die to do the magnifying glass, there are several in this collection. Oh, and I mentioned 49 and Market. And I'm just saying that because they're all kind of mixed up. I have Nature Study, The Naturalist. Oh, I can't remember, but there's a few. And over the years, I got some and just put them all in the same container for the outdoorsy ones because they're all similar. Oh, Curator's Metal, that was one of the other ones. Anyway, I cut out a circle with a butterfly and put behind it. I did put some um, acetate. Is it that? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I did put that on there so I could put sequins in there, and those are Twigs and Branches or something like that from Spiegel Mama Scraps. And I don't think they have it anymore because I went to look to get some more and there wasn't any when I looked. Um, I am inking everything. Well, I thought I was inking everything with the pumice stone. I thought, I got a little bit of green on here. Well, that's not it. I will look over there in a minute and I will see one kind of almost hanging off the table to the left. And that's the pumice stone. And I will switch over, but there is some green. But like I said, I don't think I do that until after I do the footprint things with the shoes. But it's not a problem you can't fix anyway. I am inking and putting mushrooms. There's like a whole thing you could get of laser mushrooms. However, these were from the ephemera pack, and I just cut the white off of them because I thought I didn't buy the mushrooms one. I thought I could have sworn I did, but the thing was, I set this up behind me in one of those iris things with the shelves. uh, I think it's like an organizer thing. And then I didn't use it. So what I pulled out to start with was just the leftovers from it. And I'm thinking, where is everything? Of course, that was a week ago. And this has been sitting on my table for a week. And I worked on it here and there. But then I figured it out. It was right behind me. And I finally pulled it out. But by then, I didn't need any more mushrooms. Now, my photos, like I said, are my youngest grandkids. And Jason had a tournament down in Arkansas, and there was several places they could sightsee in between the games. And this, even though they look like it's summer, this was like February. Now, there were more pictures from this excursion. However, these were the only two for this waterfall, so I only ended up with two on my double page layout, and more to come. But yeah, I thought I'd do a section in my album of them so they can all look at it when they come out. Uh, oh, I am pulling the footprints out now. This is the bottom of the sole of a shoe and like a footprint for the ground. And I used the green as the background. Well, it's all the same paper. One side I used for the lighter color and one for the darker. And I just put glue down the center. I didn't put any glue on the edges, so when I cut around it to get the green off, because it does not come with another die that shape, so all you have to do is glue it on. Uh, I had the space to do it with. It wasn't all glued down. And instead of using the triangles, I am using the footprints. And I went ahead and put them all on since this video is like hours long. Well, even sped up, it was still like 25 minutes. So I had to take out some stuff. But if y'all notice me inking them, it was because I had to add green to all of them since I had green on one. Um, the footprints, I mean. Let's see, where am I on here? Oh, I wanted to put something there over here on the left, so there was a super long ticket, and I put it on there. And I am using branches from the EK Success Punch and also the fern from the fancy dies from Hero Arts. And this one here, after I started editing the video and the layout's laying beside me and I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, man, that mushroom looks almost as big as the magnifying glass, which I do like the size of the magnifying glass. So, it looks like that there is something really to look at on there. I think there's a couple of smaller ones in there, but since it was going to be a shaker, I went with the bigger one. But it does look kind of big. I'm kind of thinking about adding a couple of smaller mushrooms and put them like right in front of it so that it won't be all that one big color. It'll have a couple of more colors there. Since I do have a whole thing of the laser cuts of mushrooms, I think I could spare two more. Of course, when I get really low on them, I might think, oh, I should have saved those two. But I think I can. I think I can. So imagine two more right on top of that. I am putting stuff on top of this wheel, but you can still tell it's there when you're actually looking at the layout. I double checked to make sure because I was watching myself put this stuff on, and I thought, well, you need to keep in mind there's a wheel back there and put your stuff on accordingly. But no, I just kept putting it on. But I did have fun doing it. I put this one, it's a oh, I guess you'd call it khaki colored. And it says, let nature surprise you. And then I knew I wanted to let's explore on there. So it's going to end up on there, but it's going to end up above that. So it's going to cover the bottom of the mushrooms just a little bit, but I still like it the way it is. And I use my pumice stone on them too. And oh, I'm back over here to this side and I'm adding let me look. Oh, nature study because I ran across it. I guess that's what I'm adding. I was not looking at the screen. I glanced a little bit, but I was looking at my layout so I could read what it says. On the screen I can't read to y'all what it says, but I can in real life. I am oh, I did have foam tape behind some of this stuff and the butterflies. I went ahead and put it on because I knew I would need it later. So all I'm doing is pulling that release paper off and putting a little bit of liquid glue on them. And I'm going to put 3 on each page. And I had some pulled out that were green because, I was pretty limited at first because they were kind of like leftovers. But then I found the butterflies, and I had my options in, and I pulled out blue just to add another color to the layout since there is blue in the photos. And now I'm scattering some of the sequins on both of the pages. And yeah, I cut most of that out too. Um, I think I ended up doing, oh yeah, I remember in a minute. I noticed when I was adding the sequence that I didn't have no greenery up there with that tag and the wheel and everything. And I thought, well, it looks kind of bare. I got to add a little bit up there. But then I'm going to remember that I pulled out some of that ribbon from Hobby Lobby that looks like sticks. At least they do to me. And I think it adds some more texture to the layout and also make it a little bit more rustic, even though they are I'm pretty sure it's a zoo. I'm going to have to ask them what it is because I might want to put that title, as a zoo on one of the layouts. But I know that they're looking at snakes and a couple other things in there. But I look at the ribbon and then pick out a chunk that I want and just cut around it. And I try not to make them all even. And then if I accidentally make a couple even, I'll just clip a little bit more off. But it's just going to go here and there. Only there will be a little more in the photos than there are in the video because when I went to take the pictures, I think I took 3 and decided I wanted a little bit more. But there's my double layout, and I had a lot of fun making it. And I want to thank Janet for inviting me to join and congratulate her on 6 years because that's a long time to run a series. But yeah, that's my layout. That's the left hand side where they're checking it all out and was really interested. And then and that's why the magnifying glass right there. And then the other side is where they actually posed. And see, don't that look a wee bit big? You know, maybe another little mushroom or two, tall ones to go on there. But yeah, and there's those twigs and stuff. And oh, there's the other side of the layout with the curious as a title. And that's it. So make sure you check out the brand new playlist down there at the bottom. Everybody will put their videos in the playlist. And all you have to do is click once, well, twice, play all, and just see all about them. And mine is a little late because, you know, some things came up and I just couldn't get to the editing. The layout was done, but, you know, it has to be edited or else you would have a 2-3 hour video. And it might have took 2 or 3 days to upload too. But yeah, there's that tag. And see how that knot is right there? In the final pictures, you won't see it there. I don't know why it moves, but I had a hard time getting it to stick. I think it was my sticky fingers that kept wanting to stick to them instead. But after I took the photos, it was fine. I glued it on, it stuck first time. But thank you all for joining me while I created my layout, and I hope you have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Bye.